about you keep using the word back test. So I'm curious what you mean by that, because it doesn't seem to be exactly the same as the way we typically think about back test. I think it's you're identifying a certain condition. So whatever, 3-month skew is X. When 3-month skew has been X previously, the forward return over the next 3 months or 6 months or whatever has been on average Y. Is that generally how you're approaching it?
No. It's actually. Can you see my screen?
No.
No, it's all right. There
There
you
we
go.
go. There we go. So no, it's what we're trying to do is we're back testing observations in the regime on a time series basis. And so what we're looking at is annualized expected return for the 71 observations over the last 25 years when the S&P 500 is in Goldilocks. When the economy is in Goldilocks, this is the annualized expected return based on those 71 observations over the last 25 years.
So
And
there's
so,
a trigger.
Okay, so you're using
There's
the
a trigger.
ensemble of
yeah.
you're using an ensemble of all of your different indicators.
Mhm.
So you've got that ensemble. You can identify where that's the regime that ensemble was signaling that you were in,
Mhm.
back through time,
Yep.
and then you can just sort of pull out those months where the regime was in that state, and what was the average return when the regime was in that state back over the past 25 years. That's the
Bingo.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
and
exactly.
it's either in that regime or it isn't, right? It's like a
Yeah.
probability of that being in that regime. It's like it is in that regime or it isn't.
Yeah, exactly. And to address that point, that's the sub back test. So each back, so the overall back test is obviously the whole sample, but then we have different categories of back tests. So hey, what does it mean when growth's slowing very quickly, what we call -2 sigma growth delta? So the size of the delta on the deceleration is a -2 sigma relative to the trailing 3-year sample of deltas. And so, you typically get a bigger drawdown in stocks when growth is slowing at an accelerated pace, and inflation or deflation. Those are when growth is decelerating, or something like this. Where growth's accelerating pretty rapidly. A plus or 1 sigma or plus 2 sigma. If you're in Goldilocks or inflation, you typically get a more positive market response. And so,
Right.
we're categorizing all those different back tests. So we, in terms of understanding, because it's all just historical data, right? We're just we're relating the historical data to the price changes in the markets, and then ultimately creating the descriptive statistics associated with that, so we can understand. And the goal of that entire process is to create this table, is to understand how asset markets generally behave, and then the secondary goal, the real goal, is to make money, right? And to help me, help myself make money, help the folks who subscribe to our process make money. And so we use all that secondary information alongside the primary back tests to effectively create these scatter plots, the visualization of it all. Say, hey, if I think we're transitioning from this to this, you don't want to be long things that only work in this, but might not work in this. You know what I mean? You want to be long things that work in both. And so that's how we really help investors, understand these regime pivots. We started the show by saying, hey, we could potentially be in a market regime, transition.
Mhm.
Our bread and butter is helping investors understand what the current regime is, and B how to position for that change.